Hello and welcome to Jumpin' Johnny Gaming Retro Walkthroughs. This Final Fantasy V Pixel Remastered video is the first part of the 100% walkthrough. This video series will cover everything you need to do in the game to get every trophy. Final Fantasy 1-4 Pixel Remastered videos has been covered 100% on this channel. Link is in the description below for the playlist. Final Fantasy V is a JRPG and it expands on the job system introduced in the third games. The characters you get in the party is only a handful compared to the previous game. After the opening cutscene, you take control of Bart, your first character. You can name him, but I will keep the default name. There is a variety of options you can change. You will want to have battle mode to wait, so the time stops when you are picking spells or magic. You can boost and make the game much easier by choosing ×4 leveling up, but I am going on the default setting. Head to the top right to investigate the meteor. This is your first location. Some are story based, some are optional and missable. We will be visiting every possible location to get the trophy or achievement. On the path to the meteor, follow the linear path and you will battle with your first enemy in the game. There's 302 enemies in the game, and for 3 achievements or trophies, you'll have to face them all. This guide will show all monsters available in the area, and it's always best to get them out of the way as soon as possible, in all optional areas with optional bosses. The Goblin, which has appeared in all previous Final Fantasy games so far, are very weak, and because you haven't got a job yet, all you can do is attack. After being joined by your second party member, you can find the third in the top right corner. Initially, Bart won't join. Before you retrace your steps back to the overworld, you can get your first treasure chest, and this will count as missable, as you won't be able to come back here. So make sure you get this before you leave. It's at the bottom right area. You'll get a phoenix down. These items will revive a fallen party member. There's 215 treasure chests in the game, which will net you 3 achievements or trophies for finding them all. Exit the meteor, and then on the overworld map, head to the top left corner, and head up, and keep heading up, and you will battle some goblins till you get a party of 3. Head up and enter the cave. While you're on the chocobo, you won't get into any random encounters. Once in the cave, at the top left is a healing spring that can heal and revive all your characters. The first new enemy you can face in the cave is the Devil Crab. All enemies are weak and easy to defeat. Head up to the north entrance. Another new enemy you can face is the Stropper, an enemy who made its debut in the third Final Fantasy game. Head around to the right and get the treasure chest to get a leather cap. Equip it on any character you want. Freelancers can wear most things in the game, and when you start getting different jobs, you will be restricted on what you can equip. A new stat is introduced in this game, and that is weight. The more and heavier items you equip, you will attack more slower. There is one more enemy to get in the cave before you want to move on, the steel bat, and then activate the secret switch to access the next area. You can look at the outside area to see a ship, and exit to the next floor by going to the top left. Head to the pirate ship on the right and go to the top of the ship and try to control the ship. You are now in control of the pirate ship, and you have your fourth party member join your party. When the pirate asks if you want to sail to the Wind Shrine, say no. So we can do a few things before we go to the Wind Shrine. Then head to the top left and go to a town called Tule. First things first, go to the bar and go where the dancers are and sit on the empty stool to activate the dancers. You do this because you can access the piano on the stage and you can play it. There's 8 pianos in the game, and you will get an achievement or trophy for playing on them all, plus this one counts as missable. Exit the bar and go in the house at the bottom left. Talk to the lady to get entrance, and then in the top left area, search the pot, barrel and crate for your first bunch of hidden items. There's 56 hidden items to find in the games. Potions will heal you in and out of battle, and tents are used to heal your whole party in the overworld or at save points. There is an achievement or trophy for finding all hidden items. Get to the chest at the top left, and to get the other chest, you go through a secret path that's next to the pot that had the hidden potion in. Others are items that give you a small amount of MP in or out of battle. Head up to the next floor to get a chest. That is your first monster in a chest fight, and it's an easy one. Just against a goblin, you will get your first accessory, which you can equip on whoever you want. Exit the building and head to the middle area, and in the top crate and barrel is 2 more hidden items. Head to the top house and go to the left of it, and take the path up and around, so you are at the back of the house and get a hidden item from the bush. Head to the other side of the house at the top right and get a hidden item from the crate next to the water wheel. Head down to the very bottom right house and go around to the right of the house, and in the barrel is the last hidden item of this area. To find out if you got all items in a location, press square on PlayStation or X on Xbox to access the map, and then you will see the button at the bottom to go to World Maps, and you can cycle through the locations you have visited to see what treasures and hidden items you have collected so far. The 3 treasure chests can't be done in the pirate's hideout until later. Another thing you can do in the town is equip all your party with broadswords at the weapon shop and leather shield and caps at the armor shop. If you need money still, you can do some battles outside, which we will do for a few enemies for the bestiary. The 3 enemies you can get outside Tule is Killer Bees, an enemy that last appeared in Final Fantasy III, and Stray Cats and Nutkins. There's 3 more enemies to get on the bestiary, and they are tough at this level, but you can level up your characters to be more ready for the first dungeon. Get in the ship and head directly right, and you will be able to dock on a small part of the ground. And you will face is the debut of the Bandersnatch. They are the toughest enemies so far, and you might need to go back to Tule to use the inns to heal up between battles. And you have big horns, which first appeared in Final Fantasy II. As you can see, some battles can end up having the enemies attack from behind, and you will have to move rows if needed to do more damage. This is deadly when you have magic users who are now at the front. The final enemy you can face is the Gatling, not as powerful as the other two enemies. The next destination is the Wind Crystal. Head right and then up to enter the location. On the first floor there is no enemies, and head to the left side for some dialogue, and the pot at the bottom will heal your party. Speak to the person to the left of the pot to get 5 potions, then head to the second floor on the right hand side. The first new enemy you can get in the dungeon is the Black Goblin, a slightly stronger version of the Goblin that is capable of doing a Goblin Punch, a deadly move that does a lot of damage. There is a treasure chest to the left of this floor. Two more enemies you can face in this dungeon is Moldwind, capable of doing the spell Arrow and has a low drop of elixir, and you can face the White Serpent, fairly weak enemies. Head down the middle section to get to a save point room. These are handy spots in dungeons where you can save your game and use tents to heal up if needed. Then exit on the opposite side to get to the bottom area of the floor, then exit through the right hand side exit for a treasure chest. Exit the room and take the left side entrance. On this floor you will see the boss of the dungeon. Before you face it, head past it to enter a room for a chest. And there is one more enemy to get in the dungeon, which is the Mani Wizard, which uses low level magic spells and drop lots of gil on defeat. Time to face the first boss. I was a bit over leveled when facing the boss, but it does have a mechanic. When it closes its wings, it won't attack, but will counter attack. So don't do anything unless its wings are open. Exit the floor, and on the 4th floor, go to the bottom right area, and through a secret passage, you can get the final treasure of the dungeon. Head through the nearby door and you will be in the crystal room. After the cutscene, you will now be able to use the job system and assign your characters jobs, and I will recommend what jobs to do during the game, and you can mix and match. As when you have a job, you get job points by defeating enemies and level up the jobs. The higher the level of the job, you will get more abilities and you get stat boosts permanently assigned. Most of the jobs are your traditional Final Fantasy jobs that made its debut in the original Final Fantasy. You have your Knight, which I assigned to Bart. You can equip heavy armor, they use swords, and they will guard your party by taking damage for them. You have the Monk class, which I assigned to Galuf, doesn't use weapons and does 2 hits, and they get powerful as they level up, especially early on in the game. And it has the kick ability, which damages all enemies on screen. You have the Thief, uses knives and boomerangs, and they are fast and are able to steal, and it's a good idea at some point to have one of your characters unlock the Thief abilities to steal rare items. You have the White Mage, which specialises in white magic, healing and defensive spells. I assigned it to Lenna. You got the Black Mage, which specialises in offensive black and elemental spells, and you have a brand new job, which is the Blue Mage. These mages learn enemy spells only, and they have to have the ability used against them in order for them to learn. There is an achievement or trophy for having all 30 blue magic learned, so we should make a head start, and I assigned Faris the Blue Mage. I would recommend having 2 characters learn the Blue Mage job. They don't have to relearn the blue magic already learned. And when you level the Blue Mage, when you max them, then change to a Black Mage. Whenever you level up a job to maximum level, always change jobs to constantly level up new jobs for the stat boosts and access to a variety of abilities. Always put your physical attackers at the front and any magic or long range attackers at the back. Before you exit the dungeon at the top, there's 2 blue magic spells you can get in this dungeon. You can get Arrow from the Moldwind and Goblin Punch from the Black Goblin. You have to have the spell hit the Blue Mage. You don't have to survive the attack, but you must finish the battle in order to learn the spell. I would recommend going to the start of the dungeon to heal up, and the Goblin Punch was tricky because he would just use the Goblin Punch on everyone else, bar the mage. So everyone had to die, and as long as the Blue Mage has 150 HP, you will survive a punch, and boost close to the floor of the pot that heals up. When you are finished, make sure you exit the dungeon using the warp point at the end of the dungeon to trigger the story cutscene. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, where there are more complete retro walkthroughs plus achievement and trophy guides, secrets and tips from the latest releases. Thanks for watching.